Have you ever just stopped? I mean, truly stopped. You're driving down Beach Boulevard or sitting in your car after a long day and you look out at that water. The way the light dances on it in the morning or how it swallows the whole sun at night. And the thought may hit you, what if I lived right there? What if that was my view every single day? How much gratitude would I feel each day to live here? I get it. I've had that thought 1,000 times. And as a broker who's been helping folks buy and sell homes on this Mississippi coast for over a decade, I've been inside hundreds of waterfront homes. I've seen the joy on a new homeowner's face when they get their keys, and I've sat across from waterfront homeowners at closing tables and seen the relief when they sell. That's the duality of it. The dream versus the day-to-day. The postcard versus the maintenance checklist. The day you buy and the day you sell, and the challenges and joys of the days in between. Today, I'm going to avoid a fluffy sales pitch. This is living in Biloxi, and that means a healthy dose of realism and a lot of heart. I'm Micah Tinkler, the broker of Double Win Realty, your Mississippi house sold or will buy it. I'm going to break down the top 3 undeniable life-changing benefits of owning a waterfront home on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And then, with equal honesty, I'm going to walk you through the top 3 challenges. Because if you're serious about making this leap, you need to walk in with both eyes wide open. First, let's define waterfront here on our Gulf Coast. It's not one thing. You've got beachfront, which is directly on the Gulf of America and the Mississippi Sound, sand, waves, big view. You have the bayous and the back canals, often calmer water, maybe your own boat slip right in the backyard. You can think about the back bay of Biloxi or the canals in Gulfport or the pass or the bay. Then there's the riverfront, like the Pascagoula along the Jordan or the Chudacabuff rivers, lush, green, and serene. Each has its own personality, price tag, and set of considerations. And today, we're talking about the universal pros and cons that apply to some degree to all of them. Because this is more than a real estate transaction. This is a lifestyle purchase. It's probably the single biggest factor that will dictate your daily routine, your hobbies, your peace of mind, and your long-term finances. Getting it right means a lifetime of memories. Glossing over the realities may mean a lifetime of stress. My name is Micah Tinkler. I'm the broker for Double Win Realty, your Mississippi house sold or will buy it. And I've been navigating these waters, literally and figuratively, for 11 years now. My job is more than just to sell homes. It's to guarantee the house sells you on the life it offers and that you're prepared for it. Because if it's not, then my love it or leave it guarantee means I'm going to have to resell it for free. And I hate working for free. All right, let's start with the good stuff. The magic. The reasons why, despite all the challenges, people absolutely swear by this lifestyle. Benefit number 1, the unbeatable lifestyle and connection to nature. This is the big one. You're buying more than a house. You're buying a giant, ever-changing backyard. Your recreation is steps away. You can avoid packing the car, avoid driving to the boat ramp. If you feel like fishing after work, your rod is in the garage, your spot is off your deck. Morning coffee becomes a meditation session, watching the dolphins, or the mullet, or the gators, or the turtles, or the herons. Stress just surrenders when faced with that kind of view. It becomes the centerpiece of your family and social life. Barbecues, bonfires, teaching your kids or grandkids how to fish. The value of these moments is immeasurable. The privacy and harmony you receive, especially on a bayou or canal, is something a traditional subdivision could never provide. Number 2, a sound financial investment and appreciation potential. Let's talk about the numbers. Because while humans decide with emotions first and then rationalize the decision afterwards, The heart could use some backup from the head. Waterfront property is and always will be a limited commodity. Supply is scarce, and that scarcity drives value. Historically, well-maintained waterfront homes on the Mississippi Gulf Coast appreciate at a rate that outpaces non-waterfront properties, especially as our area continues to grow and attracts new residents. If you ever wanted to rent it out, even for just a few peak weeks a year, like cruising the coast or Mardi Gras, the income can be significant. This can also help to offset ownership costs and taxes and insurance. And when it comes time to sell, you have a unique high demand product. In a balanced market, a desirable waterfront home often sells faster and closer to its asking price than a standard home because zero people dream about retiring to the suburbs. Benefit number 3, a profound sense of accomplishment and legacy. This is the emotional equity. There's a deep pride that comes with being a steward of a piece of this beautiful coastline. It's a milestone. You've worked hard, and this is a tangible reward for that work. But even more than that, it becomes a legacy. This is more than your home. It becomes the family's gathering place, the place your kids will want to bring their kids. You're creating an anchor point for your family story for generations. That can be powerful stuff. You're investing in real estate, plus you're investing in a backdrop for a lifetime of memories. Now, let's jump into the top 3 challenges. Deep breath. Here's the other side of the coin. 3 challenges you must be prepared for. Ignoring these is how dreams become nightmares. Number 1, the higher costs and insurance complexities. This is the most predictable challenge. Everything costs more. The mortgage. The home itself is a premium product with a premium price. Insurance. This can be a biggie. You will need a separate wind and hail policy and a separate flood policy through the National Flood Insurance Program or private flood insurance. We are in a high flood risk zone. These premiums are substantial and they fluctuate. Flood zones have changed that leave many older homes that have survived past hurricanes below the new elevation requirements. I can't get you a quote. You're going to need to talk to a local specialized insurance agent before you make an offer. No exceptions. Fortunately, I know some great insurance folks to provide excellent clarity on risk matters. Property taxes tend to be higher due to the assessed value. It is one thing if you live here and can declare a homestead exemption, and quite another if this is a second home or investment property. Which leads us perfectly to challenge number 2, increased and specialized maintenance. The salt air, the humidity, the storms can be relentless. They don't take days off. Your maintenance schedule becomes non-negotiable. You're going to be pressure washing, painting, and treating surfaces far more often. Certain materials, like hardy board or the composite wood materials, perform better than others, like wood siding. Docks and decks are going to need constant inspection and care for rot, loose boards, and corrosion. And the big one is the bulkhead. That retaining wall between your yard and the water is your first line of defense. It is critical. It's going to talk a little bit more about the bulkhead because it can be a major topic. If you're buying a lot to build on, or if the bulkhead that exists needs a full replacement, this is going to be a major, major expense. Think tens of thousands of dollars. It's going to require permits, engineering, and specialized contractors. Prices are going to start around $100 per linear foot and increase from there. You're going to need to inspect it regularly. You're beginning looking for leaning, cracks, rust on the tiebacks, or washouts behind it. Small repairs, such as replacing a cap board and sealing a crack, are common and necessary. Ignoring a small issue leads to a catastrophic and sometimes bank-breaking failure. It's not a do-it-yourself project. You're going to want to need pros who know waterfront construction. And I know a few. Every home is fighting time. A waterfront home is fighting the elements every single day in ways that a traditional home may avoid. Challenge number 3, exposure to the weather and erosion. I live in a beautiful and powerful place. Your waterfront home is on the front row. You're gonna need a hurricane preparedness plan. Where will you go? How will you secure the property? You're going to be watching weather forecasts and tide gauges with a different level of attention. Erosion, especially with beachfront properties where the land literally shifts. You should be aware of shoreline regulations and what you may and may not do to protect your property. Town and city council meetings are going to have a special place on your calendar. Beach nourishment and replenishment projects are going to be vital to your personal self-interests. Flooding. Even outside of hurricanes, tidal surges, or heavy rains may cause issues. Proper elevation, home built to current codes, is your best friend. However, codes change every 2 years while your home remains how it was built. I want to avoid scaring you. However, I need to prepare you. Owning waterfront is an active and eternal adventure with nature. If set it and forget it is your style, you may want to reconsider your choice. Bonus challenge number 4, bugs and insects. Yeah. Most of us are familiar with mosquitoes, which thrive in standing water, marshes, and humid conditions. Where are waterfront homes? What you may be less familiar with are no-see-ums, otherwise known as biting midges or sand fleas or sand gnats. These little, teeth with wings are hard to see. They're active at dawn and dusk, and they bite really hard. If the ground beneath your grass is sand, and it most likely will be at a waterfront location, they will eat you alive. Fortunately, they are weak flyers and tend to stay low and remain hidden in the grass during windy conditions. Getting up on the deck often solves the issue, or you could use ceiling fans, or you can apply treatment to the grass to dampen their populations. For both mosquitoes and no-see-um population control, you're going to want to take steps to reduce standing water and puddles in the yard and minimize breeding areas. And then there are fire ants and termites. Both of these may impact your waterfront home in different ways. Fire ants build large mounds in your yard and can invade homes and bite painfully if disturbed. For those with bee sting allergies, you may want to keep an EpiPen close. Termites need wet wood to create a meal. Rain gutters, wood rot removal, and good water management may deter them from making a meal out of your waterfront home. Annual termite inspections are going to be recommended. Well, where does all of this leave us? Is waterfront living worth the challenges? For some people, absolutely 100%. The benefits, that lifestyle, that sense of peace, that legacy may far outweigh the challenges if you are prepared. The key is informed readiness. You're going to need to get your financing and insurance quotes lined up early. Know what your true monthly cost is going to be. Hire a guide who knows waterfront homes. That would be someone like myself. You need somebody who doesn't just see a view, but sees the bulkhead, understands the flood elevations, and knows which neighborhood has stable shorelines. There's a wide variety of realtors on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Find the one you feel is credible with amazing guarantees like my love it or leave it promise. Get vicious with those inspections. A general home inspector is a start, But for a waterfront property, you may need a specialist or a marine contractor to look at the dock and the bulkhead. Budget for ongoing maintenance. Remember to hold on to some spare cash beyond the purchase price. A reserve fund for property care could save you some headaches. Now, not everyone fits the mold of a waterfront home. However, if you've weighed it all, the breathtaking sunrises against the insurance bills, the quiet evenings on the pier against the bulkhead repairs, and your heart still says yes, then it can be the most rewarding decision you'll ever make. And if you're ready to start that search, or if you're a current waterfront owner thinking, hey, Mike sounds like he gets it, that's where I come in. I'm the broker for Double Win Realty, your Mississippi house sold or will buy it right here in Waveland, Mississippi. And I help folks navigate these exact same decisions every single day. If this was helpful, click the like button. It tells YouTube to share this with more folks considering the coast. Subscribe to Living in Biloxi for more straight talk about Mississippi Gulf Coast real estate, the good, the bad, and the beautiful. And comment below. What's your biggest question about waterfront living? Is it the insurance, the maintenance? Let me know, and I might make a deep dive video on it. And if you're ready to talk specifics, visit my website. It's down below, or give me a call, or feel free to book your free zero obligation real estate consultation via Zoom with me. And we can discuss whether waterfront living is your next right step. Whether it's a condo on the Sound or a cottage on the bayou, your home should be a place of joy, not a source of surprise. Do your homework, build the right team, and you can make that waterfront dream a wonderful, sustainable reality. Remember that I donate 10% of income earned by your business referrals to Crusaders for Veterans, which helps financially distressed vets across the Gulf Coast, or the Wildlife Rehabilitation Outpost, helping out the possums, squirrels, owls, and raccoons. Please help me help the vets, and the wild pets. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.